In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on October 1st, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Arizona Cardinals versus San Francisco 49ers. On Sunday afternoon, the Arizona Cardinals and San Francisco 49ers meet at Levi's Stadium in a battle of National Football Conference West foes. The Cardinals defeated the Dallas Cowboys 28-16, notching their first win. The 49ers remained undefeated after a 30-12 beatdown of the New York Giants. The Cardinals struggled over their first couple of games, but the team was at least competitive. First came a 20-16 loss to the Commanders in the opener, spurred by a 10-0 deficit in the fourth quarter. Game 2 was another loss, this time 31-28 to the Giants. Arizona was again outscored in the fourth quarter in that one. Over on the 49ers side, they're cruising along pretty well this year at 3-0. San Francisco's first win came versus the Steelers 30-7 in the opener, thanks in part to 20 points before halftime. The 49ers had a much more competitive game versus the Rams in their second outing, but still came out on top 30-23 with points in every quarter. We've got a National Football Conference West matchup that isn't expected to be particularly close here. Entering the season, Arizona was expected to be in full tank mode after Kyler Murray's health problems and a new cast of offensive players. But that has been far from the truth under new coach Jonathan Gannon and quarterback Joshua Dobbs. Although they are 1-2, they have played far better than their record. Arizona led at halftime in their first 2 games and gave up a 21-point advantage against the New York Giants at home last week. They persevered against the Cowboys. Arizona has been one of the league's most pleasant surprises with the amount of fight they've shown under head coach Jonathan Gannon. The Cards have covered the spread with ease in each of their first 3 games, and you should continue to underestimate Josh Dobbs and co. at your own peril. If not for blowing late leads against Washington and the Giants, Arizona could easily be entering this matchup at 3-0. This past week they were massive underdogs against Dallas, and they won outright. San Francisco's biggest strength is their defensive line and pass rush, but the Cardinals were able to pick up the Cowboys' ferocious rush without much difficulty, so I don't think they'll be overwhelmed here. The 49ers have cruised to a 3-0 record, but I'm not as sold on them as everyone else seems to be. They've beaten the Steelers, Rams, and Giants so far. Not exactly a murderer's row. Brock Purdy hasn't been asked to do too much, and even though the offense has looked great overall, he's straight up missed some easy throws in every game. Gannon's coaching staff is doing really creative stuff on both sides of the ball, and they haven't even come close to being down double digits at any point this season. I expect the Cardinals to scrap and claw and hang around here once again. They will not win, as the Niners have far too much on offense for their 23rd ranked pass defense, but they will keep the game close, considering it is a heavily inflated 14-point spread. Dating back to last year, Arizona has covered the spread in 5 of 6, so the Arizona Cardinals to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Jonathan Gannon had his defense lining up in ways I've never seen in the NFL before last week against the Cowboys, and he had Dallas' offense completely rattled. Dak Prescott was shaky all game as the Cowboys mustered only 16 points. I haven't been impressed with Brock Purdy through 3 games, and even though Josh Dobbs has performed admirably in fill-in duty, there's a reason he was available right before the start of the season. Arizona averaged 7.4 yards per rush attempt last week against Dallas, so I'd expect them to once again keep things on the ground here to try to neutralize San Francisco's pass rush. Dobbs had just 189 yards in the win last week. The 49ers have arguably the league's best defense under Steve Wilks, and they've given up just 42 total points through 3 games. Brock Purdy was 25 for 37 with 310 yards and 2 scores last weekend, under a ton of blitzes from New York. After the 49ers went wild against the Giants and their blitzes, I do not expect a similar game plan from Arizona here. They will sit back and not allow Debo to get behind their secondary. As a result, expect a lot of work for George Kittle down the middle and especially Christian McCaffrey, both out of the backfield and in the passing game. That means long scoring drives and a lot of time off the clock. The total has gone under in 4 of San Francisco's last 5 games dating back to last regular season. I expect this to be a low-scoring game, with both teams trying to establish the run game. James Conner will have trouble against a Niners team allowing the second fewest rush yards per game. I don't see this one turning into a fast-paced aerial shootout. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. New England Patriots versus Dallas Cowboys. The two biggest markets in the NFL for the last 20 years meet again on Sunday afternoon. The 1-2 New England Patriots embark on a journey to Texas to take on the 2-1 Dallas Cowboys, who are reeling from a perplexing loss to the Arizona Cardinals. This showdown features two of the most valuable franchises in football. The Patriots are coming off a resilient road victory against the struggling New York Jets, looking to build momentum, while the Cowboys, favored by 6.5 points, aim to rebound from their recent setback and assert their dominance in the National Football Conference. Football fans can expect an electrifying contest between these storied franchises. Since Tom Brady's departure for Tampa Bay, two constants have remained in New England: the enduring presence of head coach Bill Belichick and the formidable Patriots defense. With Matthew Judon leading the charge up front and the rookie standout Christian Gonzalez, hailing from Oregon, along with seasoned veteran Kyle Duggar anchoring the secondary, the defense has maintained its reputation as a formidable force. The recent addition of Jabril Peppers has further solidified the Patriots' chances of winning games on the defensive side of the ball. However, the same stability cannot be attributed to the Patriots' offense, led by former Alabama quarterback Mac Jones. While Jones has displayed serviceable performance with 748 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, the support from running backs Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott has not been sufficient to push the Patriots above a .500 record. Additionally, the mix of characters at the wide receiver position has yet to produce a top-tier fantasy option as they gear up to face a formidable Cowboys defense in Dallas after a recent humiliating loss. The Patriots and their fans are bracing for a challenging matchup ahead. The Dallas Cowboys have certainly been a perplexing team this season, showcasing a potent scoring offense ranked 5th in the league and a formidable defense ranked 3rd in points allowed. However, their recent loss to the Arizona Cardinals, a team presumed to be struggling, has raised eyebrows. In that game, their defense performed admirably, holding quarterback Joshua Dobbs to just 189 passing yards. On the flip side, their star quarterback Dak Prescott had a decent outing, throwing for 249 yards and a touchdown, but he was intercepted once and faced 2 sacks as the Cowboys fell behind by a significant margin early on. Their offensive struggles in the second half, limited to only 2 Brandon Aubrey field goals, underscored the inconsistency that has plagued them at times. Furthermore, the absence of star cornerback Trevon Diggs, sidelined with a torn ACL, noticeably weakened their secondary. While this particular game might be considered a potential anomaly, it raises concerns about the Cowboys' ability to secure wins in matchups they are expected to dominate. It's not like this hasn't been a problem in the Lone Star State before. If this trend continues, it could lead to another season of disappointment for fans in Dallas, highlighting the importance of consistency and performance in the quest to regain their glorified success in the NFL. Dallas is coming off an upset loss to Arizona. The Cowboys started off the season with blowout wins over the Giants and Jets, but the Cardinals gave them a big surprise. When the Cowboys' offense is clicking, they are one of the best in the league. They are led by quarterback Dak Prescott and have standout receivers in CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup on the outside. Dallas also boasts one of the most explosive running backs in the league in Tony Pollard. Together they average 28 points per game and more than 360 total yards of offense. The Cowboys boast a strong track record as home favorites under the leadership of coach Mike McCarthy, with a notable 6-2-0 against the spread record. Meanwhile, the New England Patriots have faced challenges on the road as underdogs, managing only a 2-4-0 against the spread record post-Brady and maintaining an 8-11-1 against the spread record overall since the start of the previous season. The Dallas Cowboys are the more talented team, and they're at home, so this line isn't surprising. The Cowboys will also be eager to get that nasty taste out of their mouth after that loss to the Cardinals. However, we're getting a full touchdown with the road team. No matter what you think of the Patriots and their sluggish offense, they're a well-coached team with one of the better defenses in the league. The Patriots are 5th in total defense, 5th in passing defense, and 11th in scoring defense. The Pats are capable of making this game sluggish, so the New England Patriots to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Dallas may have scored 70 points in the first 2 weeks, but it hasn't dominated like a top 5 offensive team. In its season opener, it generated only 265 yards of total offense, and in week 2, it scored 15 of its 30 points on field goals. Its best offensive performance was last week in a blowout game against a Cardinals team expected to be among the worst in the NFL this season. Bill Belichick's defense may not dominate the Cowboys on the road in a put-up-or-shut-up game for the boys, but I believe the Pats will make life more challenging than Dallas expects. That should result in an extra punt, turnover, or field goal that will slow down the Dallas attack. The Cowboys have the 4th best defense in the NFL, and there's little reason to believe they'll struggle in an important game at home against Mac Jones and the Pats' lackluster running game. Elliott will be determined to make Dallas miss him, but that extra motivation won't be enough to bring balance to the New England offense. The Patriots rely on their defense and run game to win them a majority of their games. Quarterback Mac Jones does not possess a significant threat in the passing game and rarely throws the football deep down the field. Now New England has to face one of the best defenses in the NFL in Dallas, which is allowing only 12 points per game to start the season. The Cowboys also put pressure on the quarterback with 12 sacks in 3 games, and they have forced 7 turnovers. The Pats probably won't be scoring many points. Instead, punts will likely be plentiful. Although the Cowboys can be expected to score some here, the Patriots' defense is solid as well. New England is giving up just 19 points per game to opposing offenses and is doing a good job of keeping the team in low-scoring games. This will probably be another one. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Kansas City Chiefs versus New York Jets. The Kansas City Chiefs have been playing pretty well throughout the season as they lead the American Football Conference West with a 2-1 record and are on a 2-game winning streak after a 41-10 home win over the Chicago Bears last Sunday. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes had an incredible game as he went 2-4 of 3 for 272 yards with 3 touchdowns and suffered an ankle injury before halftime. The New York Jets have been struggling as they are last in the American Football Conference East with a 1-2 record right now and are on a 2-game losing streak after a 15-10 home loss last Sunday against the New England Patriots. Quarterback Zach Wilson struggled as he finished 1-8 of 6 for 157 yards. The Kansas City Chiefs look for their second road win to get off to a 3-1 start. The Chiefs have won 4 straight road games. Patrick Mahomes is completing 65.5% of his passes for 803 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Justin Watson and Sky Moore have combined for 270 receiving yards and 1 touchdown, while Rashee Rice has 10 receptions. The Kansas City Chiefs' ground game is averaging 114.7 yards per contest, and Isaiah Pacheco leads the way with 155 yards and 1 touchdown. Defensively, Kansas City is allowing 13 points and 280.7 yards per game. Trent McDuffie leads the Kansas City Chiefs with 16 tackles. Chris Jones has 2.5 sacks and Mike Edwards has 1 interception. The New York Jets need a win to get back to a .500 record. The Jets have split their last 6 home games. Zach Wilson is completing 52.4% of his passes for 467 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard have combined for 273 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, while Tyler Conklin has 9 receptions. The New York Jets' ground game is averaging 91.3 yards per contest, and Breece Hall leads the way with 154 yards on 26 carries. Defensively, New York is allowing 20 points and 351.3 yards per game. Quincy Williams leads the New York Jets with 26 tackles. Quentin Jefferson has 2 sacks, and Jordan Whitehead has 3 interceptions. After the initial Week 1 letdown at Arrowhead, everything's coming up Kansas City these days. Chris Jones is back. Travis Kelce is catching touchdowns again. Taylor Swift is going to attend her 2nd straight game. The vibes are immaculate. On the other side, we have a team in despair. Zach Wilson starting at quarterback. Breece Hall's not happy with his workload. What once looked like the most promising season in decades for the New York Jets has now become a black parade. All of these things are true. This will be similar to the Jaguars game, where the Chiefs put up 17 points, but allowed 9. Trevor Lawrence is a much better quarterback than Wilson, who may get booed out of MetLife Stadium. The Jets will attempt to establish the run, but the Chiefs rank 11th against the run. Mahomes will always find guys open, whether it's Kels, a running back, or a wide receiver. Aaron Rodgers would have made this game a lot more interesting. Now, the most interesting part of the game will be whether Kels scores or catches enough balls for the cameras to show Taylor Swift in the box somewhere. Let's think about this logically for a minute. How many points do the Kansas City Chiefs need to score to cover the spread? 17. All indications are Patrick Mahomes will be fine as he played the second half of the Bears game before being pulled due to the blowout ensuing. This Chiefs defense has been dominating and this Jets offensive line has been struggling to block much. The Jets seem to be turning on one another and there are a lot of issues. The Jets have a solid defense, but as much as that's helpful, it's still only half the battle as you have to be able to put points on the board and Zach Wilson doesn't look to be the answer and I'm not sure bringing in Trevor Siemian is the answer either. I'm not sure that the Jets will be able to score on the Chiefs in this one as I do not trust Zach Wilson enough to put points on the board much. The Chiefs are just the far better team in this matchup and I look for them to win on the road by double digits. So the Kansas City Chiefs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. I don't think Zach Wilson is capable of participating in a shootout. The Jets are dead last in scoring in the NFL. They're dead last in yards in the NFL. This offense is the furthest thing from enchanted, so there's really only one way they can play. You're not trying to get into a back and forth with the greatest quarterback in the NFL. It's going to have to happen via heavy doses of the run with Hall and Dalvin Cook. It's going to have to happen via money down stops by a great defense. It's going to have to happen with a turnover or two. The Chiefs can break this game open, but they tend to play with their foot a bit in spots like this. Let's be honest, their attention has probably been elsewhere given the last couple of weeks with Swift Mania. Between that, Robert Sale probably just not asking all that much of Wilson in this game, and the Chiefs' defense running hot since the return of Chris Jones. The Jets are too good defensively for Mahomes to go off on Sauce Gardner and company. As good as Mahomes is, his weapons are still pretty ordinary aside from Kels, who the Jets will try and take away while trying to make everyone else beat them. Zach Wilson will try and protect the ball, but when he needs to move down the field, he will struggle and force a turnover or two. Having Patrick Mahomes should mean a lot of points will be scored, right? Well, it will be tough against this New York Jets defense as they have allowed 4 total touchdowns this season. Their only problem is that is the same amount they have scored. Field goals are not going to be killer, and this is asking for this game to have 10 points per quarter. However, the Jets cannot convert on third down as they have done so just 8 times this year. Kansas City is going to struggle a bit to find the end zone. The Jets have gone under in 7 of their last 8 games. Kansas City has gone under in 5 of their last 7. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.